All right, hello everyone. We're gonna get started with our first research presentation. Okay, we're gonna skip news, and that'll be after this presentation. Okay. Please quiet down. Thank you. Thank you.
Registration goon at DEFCON, but I've been going to DEFCON since I was 12, so DEFCON 20, even though I was only, became a goon this year. And I love to read, and I'm a language nerd.
Oh, look at that. Perfect timing. Well done. Hi, guys. I'm Enzo. I'm a fourth year. I work at MITRE this summer. I do a lot of Windows offensive security, so, hit me up if you're interested in that. And I'm always learning, so.
And hello everyone. It's Tenchi here again for the 5th time. So I'm a third year BS in CSEC. I'm the team contagion captain, so we have more CTFs coming up. So make sure come to our meetings, stuff like that. I'm a retired blue teamer, and I like Windows. Okay, so what is DEFCON? DEFCON is one of the world's largest and most notable hacker conventions held annually in Las Vegas, Nevada, my hometown. Let's go. Contests held during the event. There's a variety of events that are being held at DEFCON. So one big part of DEFCON is the contests. It's extremely varied. It can range from creating
Test.
Someone decided to have a party in Vegas with his hacker friends. And the guy's named Jeff Moss. He goes by the Dark Tangent, and you will see him around DEFCON if you go, which is kind of funny. But he threw this party for a friend who didn't show up because he'd already moved, and other people showed up, and it became a yearly thing. And it started at this hotel called Alexis Park that's off-strip in Vegas, and if you hear people talking about Alexis Park or AP, that's what they're talking about, is early DEFCON years. And at the beginning, it was pretty much just a party. It wasn't very technical, but technical people showed up, and eventually it turned into the thing it is today that's kind of an institution, but that was accidental.
Okay, so that's gonna be my part. So about to take it in July, June-ish, and I was like, yes, I'm gonna go in person because I've never been, even though I grew up in Vegas and I knew about DEFCON for a very long time. This year was actually my first year at DEFCON, so planning for DEFCON. So Enzo came over and he stayed at my place because, being the real G that I am. But it was really stressful. Enzo just ended Black Hat, and we were up till 11 p.m. at night, just trying to look through the schedule, trying to look through the forums and see what's going on. I had signed up. Okay, so I'll get to this later, but I had signed up for a lot of this stuff. Way too much going on. But if you do go, there's this app called Hacker Tracker, which actually is such a nice app. It just lists every event that's going on at DEFCON and other conventions as well. If the conference has a Hacker Tracker thing, definitely use it. I made spreadsheets. None of them worked. They all fell through.
Oh, yes. Okay, so. Yeah, right. Okay, so quick side note, before I got to DEFCON, I went to Black Hat, which was a couple days right before DEFCON was. So I got to see a couple talks and meet a bunch of people down there, which was super awesome. So that was kind of the start of my week. A lot of what Black Hat is companies promoting their products. And so I kind of felt out of place there, and I was like, oh, is this what it's going to be like? Because I had not really been to a proper security conference, technically. I was like, okay, well, this is all right. The talks were great at Black Hat, but the product shilling was a little harsh. A lot of zero trust, AI, machine learning, whatever there. So the first thing that we sort of experienced at DEFCON was the toxic barbecue, which is the barbecue that happens the night right before the conference starts. So we met up, that's a bunch of us there. You can see Josh, Tenchi, and me, and Michael. I almost forgot his name. So we got there, we ate a bunch of free food from the DEFCON people. We just met a bunch of people and had a good time there. So the next day was, actually, Josh and Michael were both goons for DEFCON, and we were talking about getting DEFCON swag, and they told us that it was already sold out, and we're like, oh, crap. So we're like, okay, let's go at 6 a.m. to the swag line and then get our swag before anyone else can. So we got there super early, and we were first in line for swag at DEFCON. Was that over the top? Probably, but it was still good. Oh, wrong laptop. Yep, next slide. So just want to talk about some of the talks and general atmosphere and workshops that I did. So I saw some really cool talks at DEFCON. So some of the big ones were, we watched one about disarming alarm wires, which was super cool. Gosh, I don't even, there was like a Windows raw sockets one that I watched. There was a Golang focused malware one that was super cool. Basically, like anything that you can think of, they had talks running all day. They had tool talks and regular talks. It was just great. Whatever you were interested in, there was probably something for you there. So just talking about the general atmosphere of the whole conference, like everyone was just great because you could just go up to anyone and talk something super technical and then be like, oh yeah. And then you just start talking. Like I was talking with some guy that was just sitting at the same lunch table as us about all the print nightmare stuff, and we were just going back and forth on it. It was super awesome. Just great atmosphere. Basically everyone just loves hacking stuff, so that was super cool. And then I went to a workshop. Shout out Tenchi, he gave me one of his, because he signed up for like 19 workshops. So he gave me a Windows obfuscation workshop. So this was a dedicated 4-hour training course on Windows obfuscation techniques. That was a pretty fun time. They went over things like manually obfuscating code and then actual tools and what they do for that stuff. So if you see, actually, you want to click on that video right there. It looked, a lot of the rooms looked like this. So it was very, hackery. It was fun, though. And all these people here are doing like CTFs and stuff at the same. They were running many CTFs the whole time. I'm sure Tenchi will talk about that. Next slide. So the next thing was a big thing for me was Hacker Jeopardy, which is basically a bunch of networking and security focused questions, and they all play Jeopardy. This was a great experience. Highly recommend if you go to one thing there. Hacker Jeopardy was awesome. Josh had said to me, he's like, let's go to Hacker Jeopardy. And I was like, I don't want to do that. That doesn't sound fun at all. And then everyone is just screaming and booing and yelling at the people on the stage. It's just, yeah, they're saying don't fuck it up the whole time. It's great. Tenchi, they were throwing around the beach volleyballs in the room. They knocked like 2 of the chandeliers. They had a light hanging from the ceiling. Like it was crazy. So we got a video of that. Oh, perfect. All right, next slide. The next thing was the badge hacking and the challenges, and I'm sure these guys are going to talk more about the badges. But all of the badges had, it looks like this, and it like lights up, and everyone was wearing these around their necks. And they had this thing where, let's see. The challenge was to propagate the signal right here. Oh, another one. No, basically, you connect with other people, and it's all part of the challenge to spread the signal. And there's a whole CTF associated with the badges. And one of the parts of that was you had to basically solder a bunch of stuff on the back, sever some connections, and make some new ones. And this was the sign up here. It was like, it says, "Do not eat the solder," like 10 times. It was really funny. But that was good. It was a really fun experience, and doing that kind of thing was awesome. So there was a lot of people at that workshop. I'm sure these guys are going to talk more about it. And the last thing is a lot of swag and stickers. I got all this cool stuff from it. So if you just want like stickers or something, here's your thing, I guess. So yeah, that was my experience. All the stickers.
That's like from 1 year.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk about the workshops because they're actually free. So, oh, my eyes were like, oh, free stuff, free training? Let's go. So I ended up booking for all 3 days of the con. So that was like about,
It's 2 per day.
yeah, so there was an AM and a PM version. So Friday was AM, PM, Saturday was AM, PM, and then Sunday was only AM. So I ended up booking all 5 slots worth of workshops. But they did have interesting topics. So some of the workshops that I did were BLE CTF, which was like a BLE GAD server on a ESP32, and it was like a CTF-based format where you had to solve challenges. Windows internals, this was such a great course. It was talking about reverse engineering and some like Windows stuff. WinDebug, things like that. Differata, which was all about like email security. So looking at like what's it called, DMARC, SPF, stuff like that. Log analysis, which is kind of boring for me, which was like SOC stuff. Oh, look at logs, cool. Not for me. And then I had another reversing workshop, which was reversing with Ghidra and WinDebug. This was pretty cool. The teacher was like from the University of Mississippi, and we did like he reversed like a casino app, like a poker game. In short, it was it's like an old poker machine emulator. So like the poker machines in Vegas. Yeah, he basically reversed that. So it's pretty cool. So it was very fun. However, the workshops did run 4 hours in the morning and 4 hours in the afternoon. So basically my entire day at the con was filled with workshops. So I couldn't go to most of the villages or talks by the time my workshop went out. I had to go to the next one. And by the time I was done with all the workshops, the villages were closing and there was no more talks. So I would not recommend doing what I did, which was fill your day with workshops. If you have something that you're really interested in, you should sign up. However, enjoying the convention and meeting people is what it's all about, in my opinion. And so I'm going to talk about the CTFs just a little bit. I also try to do a bunch of CTFs. So ICS, Industrial Control Systems, IoT, Hospital Under Siege, which was a biohacking CTF, pretty cool with some DICOM stuff, analyzing cool protocols. CTF, which was boat hacking. It's kind of crazy. I think Cipriana's got more to talk about it, but yeah. And then there was DEFCON CTF, which DEFCON Finals CTF, hosted by OOO.
Yeah.
OOO.
Last year,
Yeah.
Last year.
Yep. And wow, got to meet some crazy people. Enzo talked about it earlier. The guy in the maid outfit. He's actually a member of Perfect Blue. If you guys don't know Perfect Blue, they're actually ranked #1 in CTF time. So yeah, they're kind of goated. Kind of good. And again, I did not have time to do anything because I was at workshops all day. But next time, though, I would like to do more CTFs because it's kind of my thing. I really enjoy them. You learn so many cool and new things. So yeah. Then, little summary. It was a great experience. I was 12 out of 10 would go again. I'm so sad that I didn't go to DEF CON earlier since I've grown up in Vegas and I've heard about it for so long. It's just, you got to go for it sometimes. You got to go for it, right? Don't miss out on your opportunities. On Sunday, everyone left, so Enzo, Fred, who isn't here right now, left, and so Josh and Michael were also doing their goon shifts. So I was all alone on Sunday. Big sad, but hey, you know, I got to enjoy my last workshop. So yeah, here's a few pictures. People got their SAOs or their cool custom badges. They got a Nyan Cat one. I met some furries. Yeah. Yeah, I met some. Yeah, T-Rex fight. Is it on Twitter?
I think it's on
I
Twitter.
got the video. I can pull up the video of that.
Yo.
Yeah, I'll pull that
It
one.
was-
I got a whole image archive I'll pull up for you.
Thanks, Boris. So a little bit more that amazing things or amazing people that I met. So raise your hand if you know John Hammond. Yes, I met John Hammond at DEFCON.
Oh, that nerd. Yeah. I know.
Yeah. And also, I met my middle school friend at the swag line, and apparently he's in Dice King, which is another very competitive CTF team. He was there to compete in finals, which just absolutely blew my mind. He's the one that got me into security, and it was a great experience meeting him there, for sure. And then, yep, here's all the stuff that I got. So got all my workshop stickers, very colorful. That's probably another great thing that I really liked about the workshops was getting the stickers. I also got 2 challenge coins. The DFIR challenge coin was from the workshop, which I did with Michael. That was I showed you guys earlier. There was a competition at the end of the workshop where we had to solve a capstone challenge, which was basically, oh yeah, you got to analyze this email and just answer some questions. And we actually took 2nd place on that, and we got the challenge coin through there. The challenge coin on the left is actually the Red Team Village challenge coin. So in between my break of workshops, I got a chance to visit Red Team Village. And I was just looking for stickers, you know, because Red Team Village is kind of cool, you know, they're kind of nice. And I asked one of the organizers for some stickers, and he gave me a challenge coin. So kind of a win. And yeah, that was my experience.
All right, so, I mean, the thing that I really most associate with DEFCON is chaos, because it is chaos, especially if you're helping behind the scenes. And it's chaos because so many people show up, which means that you never have the same experience year to year. You always meet new people. And, you know, villages change, competitions change, like, meaning maybe there are new ones or they end or they just do it differently. So you're never gonna get bored at DEFCON. And so, chaos. And it's, when I say DEFCON is big, I mean that in 27, which was 2 years ago in the last like normal in-person year, we had 33,000 attendees, and the conference was spread across 4 hotels/casinos, which was a lot. So you'd kind of just be like running up and down the strip to get places, which was not ideal, but it worked out. This year we had almost 9,000 attendees, which was pretty cool. I was surprised that that many people showed up because of the pandemic. And people were pretty mask compliant, generally speaking, which was nice because that's why it was, yeah, that's why it could happen.
Even at the pool.
Yeah, even at the pool. There were pool parties. Oh gosh. I didn't experience that directly. But DEFCON is great for networking. I've met people from Microsoft, FireEye, one of the founders of WhatsApp, someone who's ex-US Cyber Command. I've met, people who have done really interesting things through DEFCON, and DEFCON is actually how I found out about RIT's security program. I was talking to someone at Lockpick Village, and he went here, and I was like, oh, that's cool, and that's kind of why I'm here now. So talk to people. If you go, you never know who you'll meet. And then villages. I love the villages because you can show up knowing nothing, and they're like, here, we'll teach you stuff, and do this activity, or, talk to this person who knows what they're doing. And if, Tenchi's saying that workshops were too big of a time commitment, So a great replacement for that is going to villages because they have demos that are shorter.
Overload time.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can also just leave. You know, you didn't sign up for a slot.
Yeah.
So anyways, highly recommend villages and their demos. Like that's me doing a demo in packet hacking, which was really fun. And then being a goon, it's a lot of work. And goon means staff, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know. And people in red shirts, like the one that my brother's wearing there, are like on duty working to make the con happen. And for my team personally, we do human registration, so all the normal conference attendees, as opposed to like speakers or village people or goons themselves. We handle registration for normal con attendees. So we get all the badges put together and the conference bags that you get when you show up and register, which is a lot of work. So we do a lot of work before the conference. And then we get everyone moved through the registration line. Yes. And then badges. So this year, well, they change from year to year based on the theme of the competition. This year, the theme was can't stop the signal, or you can't stop the signal?
Yes.
Yeah, that. And the badge creators actually said that they'd had this, roughly this design in their like back pocket from another conference that effectively fell through. But it worked well for this year's theme, so they like pulled it out, changed it a little, and then started dealing with parts, which was bad this year. One part was delayed for 6 weeks, and it pushed delivery of around 3,000 badges back to the weekend before DEFCON. So I got there on Sunday, and then for the next 3 days, we were putting together badges. That was all that we did. So that was rough this year, and it was especially bad because of COVID and all the shipping weirdness. So yeah. And then competitions. So there are a lot of competitions at DEF CON. Not all of them award black badges. Black badges are the thing that allows you lifetime free entry into DEF CON. So if you win a competition where you get a black badge, that's kind of like automatic huge clout. And the two that always give out black badges, or have since DEF CON 8 and DEF CON 10 respectively, are Hacker Jeopardy and the main CTF. So those are consistent. The other ones change. So I don't remember if CTF, I don't think they awarded one this year. Yeah, but they change from year to year. This year, the scavenger hunt got one, which was interesting. And, you know, everyone who shows up kind of wants a black badge. Not a lot of people get them. And they have like a registry of who got them. So you can't walk up to Inhuman Reg and be like, I have a black badge, because they'll like kick you out. So don't do that. And then the other fun thing is that some adult competitions have kids counterparts, because there is a like DEF CON kids thing, even though it's not a kids vibe at all. So my favorite is Kids Hacker Jeopardy. which I played in at 25. It was really fun. I won because I knew Pi. That was it. But they like, you know, where at Adult Hacker Jeopardy, they have you drink if you get questions wrong. At Kids Hacker Jeopardy, they have you like eat crickets. So, yeah.
Okay.
Forrest.
That's it. Forrest, you're up.
Yeah, I got the cool shit. All right, book me in.
Did you get the Zoom link?
No.
I think I sent it to you.
Oh, we're gonna pull these Twitters up on yours then.
Oh.
All right.
Uh-oh, my
I've
Twitter.
been scrolling through Twitter, finding all the cool stuff. So, one of the things is I've been going.
Do you want?
God, I just got flashbang by the projector.
That's kind of a bad spot to be.
If you join the Zoom, then you can share your screen.
Yeah.
And then
What's the numbers on it?
914 630
I have to go to class like right now.
07427. I see.
Oh, yeah, I need this. Give me this. Hello. What's up, nerds? I've been going to DEF CON for 6 years now. I've gone pretty much every year that I could. And it has been amazing ever since. It actually is what got me into cybersecurity. And so the reason why it got me into cybersecurity is because I was wearing that hat, Hatchian, right here, this behemoth of a hat. This is what kind of made me stand out at the time. This is a 4chan on a hat. So pretty much you connect to the wireless access point and then you ship post to my hat. And then it's just a pith helmet with some stuff duct taped to it. So nothing major, right? Runs off of USB, right? Just, normal stuff. And it's great fun to wear in Vegas. And so my last boss found me at DEF CON in the vendor area and asked if I wanted to be a pen tester. And I was working technical support at the time. And I said, sure. Had the interview 3 weeks later, and I was doing DoD subcontractor cybersecurity audits. And then I ended up here because I kept volunteering for CPTC. So you got everything going?
Yeah.
Cool. So remember that dino fight? So that happened. Wow, they didn't like that. Where is it?
Hit stop share. Share and then optimize for video.
There we go.
Uh-oh, 144p.
Oh yeah, all the way. Hang on.
There's a...
You guys look on the left side, it's me and Enzo.
We are those 2 pixels over there.
Wait, it's better. Yo, y'all got that compression?
So I'm the one with the ball.
Oh yeah.
There's Forrest.
Yeah.
Oh, there's us. You can recognize Enzo by the mask. Yeah, he's right. There you go.
These are actually 2 goons. These run the scavenger hunt table. So they're just having fun.
That's one of the Hacker Jeopardy guys right there.
Yeah. I think we'd just gotten done with Hacker Jeopardy at that
we had
point,
just finished
which was terrible, by the way. Oh my God. So Hacker Jeopardy, let me, no. So that was actually in the chill out. So Hacker Jeopardy got a little bit of the short straw because they were trying to do a hybrid mode. And so they were trying to do it over Discord on the DEF CON Wi-Fi, which is 3 times worse than the RITM Wi-Fi. And so right behind the wall that they were butted up against was the chill out zone. And they were blasting music, some guy on a trombone. It sounded like a bad apartment neighbor. Because it was dubstep mixed with a trombone and a clarinet and a recorder. And it was an experience, to say the least. Also, another story is I make badges sometimes. And so this lovely lady, she has a collection of SAOs. These are all mini badges, right? And that one's mine. I gave her that. I didn't even know I gave it to her at the time, but this is LineCon 27, so it was DEFCON 27 when I made that, right? That actually started her career in making badges, because that was the first one that she made. That was the first one that she soldered together. And so there's this lovely story of how she goes through it all. And she actually got one of my signed ones. I only signed 5 of them out of the 100 that I gave away. You'll end up with experiences like this all the time during DEF CON, for sure. I was trying to dig out some of the others. So this is, we were partying so hard in the chill out zone. It got a little out of hand and we started bringing down floor panels. So, yeah, we were dropping the bass too hard.
So
135 dB bass. And I'm trying to troll. So this guy, Alex, made a bunch of the DEF CON videos.
Yeah, check this out.
So we had the unofficial badges. Oh, this is the one that he did of me. So let me talk about the badges a little bit and the challenges that were there. So the badge challenge is a black badge challenge. If you complete the badge challenge, you win a black badge. And so the way that it worked this year, and kind of the story involved with what I did, was that these badges, which are really cool, everybody got a human badge. But different staff members and different types, like media and stuff, had different badges. Like this is an artist badge, right? They're different color and they have different signals on them. This is the human badge, what everybody else got generally. Now these work as keyboards as well. You can plug them in. The lanyards, which I thought this was really nifty, are USB cables. It's a USB-C cable. You can't even tell it's a cable. But you can hook these badges into a computer, and they have a serial console. So they have a serial console, and they wanted to make it where virtual users could also participate. So they have a virtual badge code that you can copy and give to others, and they can synchronize by giving you the code that they get back, a challenge and response code. And so this also worked as a Discord hotkey generator. So it acts like a keyboard when you plug it in, so you can change up. Oh, yeah. So it's actually going to modify my audio. But for push to talk, for when we're all shit talking in Discord. And the challenge was, and it's a multi-part challenge, is you get all the signal, which is you connect to each different type of badge. And then after connecting to all the different types of badges, then you get the signal, and then you have to share that signal to 20 other people. Doesn't matter who. Once you do that, then you're given a URL in the serial console. It tells you a clue using image obfuscation and stuff to cut that trace right there off your board with a knife. When you do, your serial console changes. And you've taken the red pill. This is what we called the red pill at the time, because it was a red pill thing. And so, because the ones and zeros on the top say red, right there, that it's connected to. Further down the line, you're supposed to take a jumper wire and jump a bridge. And then you can, I poked the keyboard again. And so once you completed the entire challenge, you had to submit the whole thing, and the first 5 got a black badge for it. Now, there was also a badge reader there as well that actually showed you your stats. And this is my personal story. That poor badge reader broke the first day. They couldn't read badges anymore. Mostly because it was that last minute type of hacker thing where nobody knows what the hell's going on anymore. And so it broke. And I was bored, and I already put my badge on the internet. I wrote a PHP application to share my code with anybody on Discord if they put in their code. Automatically just use the serial terminal with some pre-set up stuff. And so I wrote a badge botnet. So you'd submit a code and you submit it to 100 badges. And so we were doing that. And that was first day, because first day at DEFCON, the actual first day, is boring. Flat out boring. There's nothing to do besides screw with your badge. Literally, first day, you get your ticket, you get your swag, maybe you go to the DEFCON 101 talks, but really go back to your hotel room. So I was talking with the creator of the badge reader, which wasn't the badge maker. And so I wrote a program for him to do the badge reader, which did that really cool display. I'll try to find a photo of it somewhere, but it would show you your stats. And we kept progressing it further and further and further, where it showed the different states of the CTF and everything. And for my efforts, I was given an artist badge. And they've invited me next year to write it again. And that's how you kind of get involved. It just happens. This is extremely common with DEFCON, is you end up just kind of in the mucks of doing stuff. Like this hat here. This is a Hatchan 2.0. It's actually technically a failed project because the board's from a different project that failed. But it was a hit this year. There's lots of little subgroups everywhere that you could possibly ever imagine. One of the subgroups that I'm a part of is called the Hard Hat Hacking Village, Hard Hat Hacking Contest. And so we make all these crazy hats. And so this is one of the interviews of all the crazy hats that we had at the table. So this guy's got a 3-foot Yagi on it doing Wi-Fi analysis, right? It's great. So stuff like this is extremely common. There's all these little subgroups. There's the badge life group. There's all the different badges, stickers, musicians. There was a guy out in the hallway. He brought in his own synthesizer, the patch synthesizer. Remember that? It was a patch board synthesizer, which is pretty much just a plug board of everything you could possibly ever think of, with 1 billion cables running into it. He was making chiptunes in the hallway. because he could. It was portable enough to do it. The car hacking village, they brought in one of those little tiny itty bitty Chinese electric car. And then somebody stole it. They just walked away with it. We actually found the security footage of it. A goon showed it to me. They just walked away with it. Because it was light enough you could do that. You could just carry it out. And they eventually found it in the hardware hacking village. It was stuffed away in the back from somewhere. There's all kinds. Let me see if I can find it. So this was Drunk Hacker History, the aftermath of it. Yeah, and were you at Drunk Hacker?
We saw a bit of it. Yeah.
It was crazy town because they were.
After someone got their ear pierced.
There it is.
on stage.
I found this behind the stage. That is a kiddie pool full of macaroni and booze. I don't know if they were wrestling in it or what have you, but I found that behind the stage. So we're always up to shenanigans. I really want this. We're good on time? We got 2. But generally, you will find anything of interest that you would ever want out of there, for sure. A really good place to find a lot of the photos of what went on during the conference can be found on the DEFCON Twitter. Lots of the shenanigans that we were up to can be found in there. But I recommend you go. Only costs, for most people, about $3,000. If you stay off strip, eat correctly, don't eat it anywhere on the strip. Airfare is going to be your biggest cost. The hotel rooms aren't that bad. The ticket isn't that bad. Food isn't that bad, usually. There's $2 hot dogs around the corner. But it'll be the best week ever. Now, if you can do the whole hacker summer camp, which is like 3 weeks, Black Hat, B-Sides, and DEFCON, you don't have to go to Black Hat, but you can still hang out at the parties. During DEFCON alone, there was 135 parties. Fully open, you could go to, of various types. And a lot of people don't go to them, but there's like the Toxic Barbecue, where you can go eat alligator or ostrich, or the DEFCON Shoot, where you can go shoot a tank out in the desert. The scavenger hunt. Go look up a list for the DEFCON scavenger hunt. One year they had one where, so there's the fox hunting village for the radio. And so that's where you go find a wireless device and the crowd is sea of weird, right? Well, they had the joke as a scav hunt to turn in somebody wearing a fox suit into the fox hunting village. Oh. And that happened. I was there to witness it, and it was hilarious because they were very confused. Wow. There's lots of contests. There's ones. Was that this year? Yes. That was this year. Wow. There's lots of contests everywhere. Everybody's having fun. There's one where how exact can you get the temperature of booze too?
Oh yeah, the chill.
Yeah, and like the most exact one was like a stack of cups and some ice and some pinholes. Besides like the professional kits that people had brought.
Yeah, something about like some compressors too.
Yeah.
Insane.
But no matter the skill level, you can participate in most of them. The crypto challenges are everywhere. Everybody loves doing crypto challenges at those places. So you can really participate and you can really engage with people around you. You may be in the chill out area and you hear slow scan TV going off in the corner. And you walk up to them, it's like, you know what that is, right? It's slow scan. Probably half of the people don't even know what slow scan TV is because none of you are radio nerds, huh?
No.
Yeah. What?
They're radio nerds.
Ah, yeah, radio nerds, whatever. So, disregard the misconceptions. Yes, you can bring your personal laptop. Yes, you can bring your normal phone. They're not going to hack it. We're relatively well behaved at DEFCON. So, yeah, it's actually a pretty safe experience overall. We did really good this year.
It was good. It was so nice.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have questions, I will be standing over here next